Hey guys, SerpentX here. This one's going to be more on the automotive side of things. I know I usually do computer stuff, but this is going to be automotive. I'm trying my best to show you this. This is a Honda slash Acura slave cylinder, commonly found in Civics, Accords, and in my Acura TL. This is a Luke slave cylinder, the one that comes out of the factory. This part is just metal, and this trick that I'm trying to do, or working on trying to do, is to remove what's called a check valve. There's a check valve in here. It's a little, it just slows down the fluid, so that way when you shift quickly, it doesn't engage as fast as you would like. If you want those quick shifts, fast shifting from second to third or third to fourth, this check valve is going to mess you up. So the Luke, there's just this little black piece and a C-clip in here that you got to remove. But the problem is, it's very hard to see. Alright, so it's really hard to see, but you can see the shavings of metal or aluminum kind of on the cap there. And if you look really close, there's a light groove on that end. What I did is I pushed the ring to the right side, and then I used the X-Acto knife to cut the groove out. I just wanted to insert this in there. Once I got the groove kind of moved out that I showed you, I attacked from the outside of the edge of the C-clip and pried in. But I did it inside a Ziploc bag. So I had both my hands in there and I just pried with the tool and it popped out. I recommend doing so maybe with a regular shopping bag, because that thing flung across the room. I'm sure I found it years later on in my life, but not when I needed it. So I had to spend another $70. So avoid that when you scrape out enough of a groove. Put it in a bag and try to pry it out. Clear bag will be obviously more visible so you can see what you're doing. But at least that way, if you do fling it, it stays inside the bag and not across your room. Alright, trying to finalize this. Make sure you blow this orifice out of any aluminum shavings. There's the spring, the C-clip, the cap, and then this tiny little guy, that little pin-sized hole, is what's slowing down the flow of fluid, of brake, clutch fluid, whatever you want to call it. So you just take that little black cap off like I showed you, and you would be good. Install it with just a spring cap, put the C-clip back on in reverse order, and you'll be fine. Alright guys, excuse my vape. Wrapping up this video here. Do as I say, not as I do. Again, here is $140 worth of slave cylinder. I believe this slave cylinder, you can see the part number back there, is from Luke. Will fit 05 to 08, but you might want to confirm and make sure you get the actual part for your car or model and year. But on the right hand side you can see my JB weld, and the reason why I'm not going with this part primarily is because the chance of failure is much higher. That JB weld during the heating and cooling of the vehicle can crack, become deformed, and can just plain pop off. And not saying that I know the actual math behind it, but it could it should be able to withstand 198 psi, and I could be wrong, but it needs to withstand a certain amount of psi. And if it fails, you're going to be pushing in that clutch pedal and not get anything. Won't be able to get out of gear or into gear, and that would be a big problem, especially if you're stuck in gear when it breaks. So rather than risking safety, I have it, the one on the left, fully installed. You can see the tiny problem child here with a pin-sized hole that I showed you earlier that was slowing down the fluid flow. And I will be installing it in my car and then testing it out. So if this helped you out, it's a quick fix. Took me about 15 minutes of shaving with the. You can use a utility knife. Make sure it's a new, fresh blade. But an X-Acto knife makes shaving, small pieces of aluminum very easy and very quick. So I recommend a utility knife or X-Acto knife from Harbor Freight or wherever you feel like your local hardware store is the best. Mine only cost $5, and I can use it again later on. It's replaceable, so definitely a good investment, considering the fact that I wasted $70 just to mess up and lose that C-clip. But thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out. And this is just a step 1 of 2 to basically get your car, your maybe a better shift feel, a quicker responsiveness from the clutch, because the slave cylinder has a check valve and the master cylinder has a delay valve, both slowing down fluid to kind of make shifting and quick shifting a little bit easier on the car and the person. It's a luxury car. It's not meant for fast, quick, hard shifts. And lately, doing it in my 2005 Acura TL, the second to third or hard third to fourth shifts, my RPMs stay high and it just doesn't feel like it's going into gear. So this is just one of the steps I'm going to take to see what's causing the issue. The next thing is the master cylinder, which I heard is a big problem. And then I'm pretty sure my throwout bearing and my clutch is going bad as well. But this will already have been done. The clutch will be next, and the master cylinder will be at the same time I do the clutch. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.